It's like, I'm so glad that you did. And then here we are, like a couple weeks later, kind of on the other side of something big, like that moment when I asked you when you felt lonely, like you have been working through that. And
Mm-hmm.
we have been working through that until now. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, there's more stuff to work through because you're still working at your job and stuff. But like, it does seem like you've come to a new understanding, or you've moved forward in some way in the inner
Yeah.
world.
Well, there's this is part of where, for the masculine too, a lot of the times having this reflected back allows you, when you have the tools to look on the inner world and see what's going on, make some sense of this. I've also been seeking a lot of advice and
Mm-hmm.
information, and really just sharing a lot of these experiences with my mentors as well.
Mm-hmm.
um and it's good because it shows that you have support. And when that's kind of the cure to loneliness, is when you start to feel support from other people.
Yes. Oh, isn't that so
Yeah.
true? Yeah.
Because then you can see, like, no, I'm not on my own here. Like, I am the one who's on the journey, but there are other people who are invested in me being successful and want to help me be successful. And the advice that they give really helps to reorient all that kind of clutter and chaos that's going on in the inner world, to keep moving you forward, even if you're still stuck in it. I mean, we have made a lot of progress in the things that we're working on. This podcast is one of them. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Mhm.
But there's still plenty of, like, room to go.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
only on the 40-yard line right now.
Yeah. But more than ever, I feel like we are in this like together.
Yeah, that's the thing, where when you start to connect back again from being in a place of loneliness or being kind of disconnected, man, it puts another like candy coating layer on your relationship in general, and just strengthens that bond.
Yeah. And something just popped into my head, so I'll share it too. Maybe I'll just talk about the salvation fantasy on this episode because
All
this kind
right.
of ties right into it. But like, I couldn't connect with you like this if my parts still needed you to be my savior.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, if my parts were still dead set on, if I can just find the perfect man that, that can meet all these parts' needs and like won't require any extra energy from me, basically,
Yeah.
then I'll be all right. And so for actually a lot of our relationship, I was judging you against that. Like, I needed you to be that. I needed you to be not human. I
Mm-hmm.
needed you to be like the my salvation fantasy. So like, here's the salvation fantasy thing. In our trauma, when trauma happens to us, our parts uh kind of bifurcate. So they go into, there's a part of us that is experiencing the trauma and that are protecting us from the trauma, all of that kind of stuff. And then there's another side of it where there are parts of us that have the salvation fantasy of the opposite of our trauma happening. And
Mm-hmm.
so these parts are like, if we can just get the opposite of our trauma, and we can have, like, you can be the dad that I never got to have. Um, if I just have this partner that sees me all the time, and yeah, basically that is my savior. That's the perfect partner that doesn't require any extra energy from me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then that's what I need. Then I won't have to feel so lonely, that I won't feel so ashamed anymore. Then like that's the ticket out of this. But like, the truth is that actually keeps you in your trauma.
Because you'll never find that.
You'll never find that. And the origin of that is just as much in your trauma as your pain is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so as that gets healed, I have seen you as a human being more and more, and just like let you be fucking wild ass man, you know, like let you be a separate person from me, not like you don't have to be anything other than you are for me. Like I just want to be in this with you. Like we are just two humans going through life together best we can. And so like I wouldn't be able to see your loneliness if I was just seeing you for the salvation fantasy that you weren't.
Yeah, your salvation fantasy is not allowed to be lonely.
Yeah.
Or to have experience that.
Yeah, well that's just like not even something that my parts would think about. Like my parts would think about criticizing you for, you know, not figuring your shit out already and like getting a direction.
And that helps, you know, that always helps. To be criticized for the thing you're struggling with.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so this is I remember I tweeted this. I was like, "Oh, this is such good advice." Next time you want to criticize your partner, instead ask them if they feel lonely.
Yeah. See where that takes you.
Yeah.
And that might take you in a pretty vulnerable place. So be warned, because vulnerability is going to save us all, but we have to sign up for it.
We have to be courageous enough to go there.
Yeah.